dharmas aware.
Studied medicine படிச்சிருக்கோம். When doctor's prescription is easy to understand. The question is, you perform an action and you are not agitated, you have not committed a sin. So, you have not done any sin because you are not aware of what is. You are not aware, therefore there is no agitation. And then there is another example that is given all the time. The boy crushes a centipede. Years later, ton of bricks falls on his legs and both the legs are amputated. If he has not committed any sin, then they should not have. If he has not committed any sin, then they should not have happened now. Therefore, his confusion is, what is the sin is in the reaction versus law of karma coming in much later, though while doing an action you are not agitated. Correct? Huh? The question. Answer க்கு யோசிக்கல. வெளியில என்னமோ ask them whether they want to remove our cars. ட்ரக்லாம் கொண்டு வந்து நிப்பாட்டிருக்காங்க. நம்ம பாட்டில் I'm not thinking for an answer. I'm seeing what is happening. ரொம்ப பெரிய கொஸ்டின் கேட்டார் போல இருக்கு. நான் அவ்வளோ யோசிச்சு பதில் சொல்லணும் அதுக்கு. When we talk about law of karma, the cause and the effect, the ultimate dharma in life, or the only dharma of life is cause and effect. The law of karma is the dharma of life, cause and effect. The boy crushes the centipede. When he is crushing the centipede, he is not aware of the pain that it is causing to the centipede. Correct? Is it correct to say that? Is it correct to say that?
He is ignorant of
the pain that the centipede goes through. Is it correct to say that? I am asking a question.
Yes.
No. Because he is enjoying that crushing. He is enjoying that crushing. He is joyful doing it. As we walk from, let us say, as we walk from the gate to this hall, there may be an insect that is crawling. I have no intention of crushing or causing harm. It may be a mother insect carrying food to the child. I may crush and I may enter, but I have no intention of crushing it. Neither is there a joy for me in doing it. I won't face karma for that. There is no karma for that because there is no joy in it, there is no intention in it. In the case of the boy crushing the centipede, he may not be aware of the pain that it is. He may not be aware of the pain, but what is he enjoying? It is a voluntary act of causing. It's a voluntary act of causing pain. You follow? Therefore, he pays the price. Because he may say, I didn't know that it will cause pain to the centipede. He is not punished for that. He is punished for the joy when crushing. He takes the stone and he is crushing it bit by bit and is enjoying that. So, what is it that the karma is for?
The enjoyment part.
The enjoyment part. So you pay the price not for the action but for the enjoyment that you get out of that action. I curse somebody and I enjoy cursing that. It is not the word I am punished for. I am punished for the joy that I get out of it, which is the intention. That is why when you say intention, the joy is the intention there. Are you able to follow? When I abuse somebody, I get a joy in that. That joy is what karma is all about. Are you able to follow? கேட்கறது இல்லையா? பரவாயில்ல, I'm not able to. So, even though he says, I'm explaining the centipede example. Even though that boy is crushing the centipede, he is not crushing the centipede for knowing that he wants to cause harm to the centipede. But what is the karma for?
The enjoyment part.
His enjoyment is the part. You follow? Or maybe it was correct and see, I'm not able to hear at all. My both my ears are blocked completely. So I'm screaming on top of the voice. At least I saw it. It sounds to me like. You follow what I'm saying? So sin is in the. Sin is because of what? Sin is because of him.
The joy portion.
The joy portion. See, a person eating meat. A person eating meat for the sake of
Enjoyment.
the pleasure. He will. Karma is because of that. When a person enjoys eating meat, what is the karma there? See, don't say killing, cutting, Allah. If you take it in the action form, if you take it too literally, it will be confusing. You will not be able to understand. But what is it that he is eating? What is it that he is killing for? He is killing for
sensual enjoyment.
He is killing for his pleasure. So the karma boils down to what?
This reaction.
Anything that you do for your pleasure bounces back to hurt you. அப்படின்னா enjoyment இருக்கக்கூடாதா? Because anything that you do for your pleasure bounces back to hurt you is law of karma. 99.9% of the species don't incur karma at all. Why? Because
No choice.
they don't do an action for enjoyment. Only a human being does everything for raga and dvesha. Lion killing a deer, it doesn't incur karma. Why?
There's no Radha Vishwa involved.
There is no raga dvesha involved there. There is no raga dvesha involved there. In the case of a human being, can you remove raga dvesha from your action? In the case of an ignorant human being, the case of ordinary human being, is it possible at all for him to remove raga dvesha from his action? Therefore, whatsoever action he does, he will face the consequences. Okay, in the case of human beings, if we can't understand, we can easily understand it in the case of the other species. The deer, the lion hunting the deer doesn't incur karma. Why it doesn't incur karma? Intention. What is the intention? What is the intention? What is the intention? The intention is not its enjoyment. The case of a human being, it is what? The case of a human being, everything is done for enjoyment, pleasure only. That is why this raga, dvesha causes sukha and dukkha. The formula clear are. Are you able to follow? You do something for your pleasure, bounces back and agitates you. Whatsoever you do for your pleasure, bounces back and agitates you. That is sin. What is the intention? The intention is not to hurt. Take another example. The school boys walking from the school back home sees a nest. Take the stone and hits the nest. The whole house is collapsed. Long back, we gave that example. When you keep a bird in the cage, what will happen? What will be your karma? First I thought he was just exaggerating, making it so dramatic. But how many ever time that bird is in the cage, that many times you will enter a womb, come out of the womb dying, get into another womb, stay there, come out of the womb dying, go back into another womb. This is what will happen if you keep the bird in the cage. He said, you may not see it. A person sees it, says. I thought he was just being very dramatic about it. But then after a while it is so. If you sit and reflect, it is so true that this is how it happens. Why? Because the intention is your
No pleasure.
the intention is your pleasure. The intention is your pleasure. Since your pleasure is your intention, you pay the price. Whatever be the intention, doesn't matter. The intention may be to, out of your pleasure, you hurt somebody, you get negative result, papa, naraka. Out of your intention, you do good to somebody, swarga. Swarga, naraka is because of what? Your intention. What is the intention? You are getting a pleasure out of it. You get a pleasure out of it and causes pain to the other. What happens? Naraka. You get a pleasure out of it. The other also derives a pleasure. What is it called? Swarga. Avladha. This is Swarga and Naraka. Both are driven by Raga and Dvesha only. Why it doesn't happen immediately? Are you okay till now? As he is crushing the legs of the centipede, if his legs also gets crushed, it is, direct it is. It is direct. Everybody can see and understand it. I am crushing, mine is crushed, it is straight away clear. But then the law of karma says it doesn't work that way. Why it doesn't work that way? Because you do other actions also. This is not the only action you do. You do other actions also. The overall resultant decides it. If it is a only unit action, immediately there is a consequence for it. But then you are not doing only a unit action. You do a whole lot of other actions too. Therefore, the result will be a combination of both. Combination is what we have seen many times as the resultant force. What is the resultant force? The legs has to get crushed. If he has done something else, maybe he may suffer a fracture and be there for a while. All this is karma. Yes, he may suffer a fracture for a while. Legs need not get crushed because somewhere else he has balanced it with some other action. You follow? இந்த காம்ப்ளிகேஷன்லாம் மாட்டிக்காம சேஃபா இருக்கணும்னா என்ன பண்ணணும்? சேஃபா இருக்கணும்னா என்ன பண்ணணும்?
Don't hurt others.
Don't hurt others. Don't function based on raga dvesha. அவ்வளவுதான். ராஜாராம் கரெக்டா சொன்னீங்க. That is the only way to, if you have to protect yourself, ethics, morals, good and bad, இவங்களை காப்பாற்றணும் அவங்க இல்லையா, அதெல்லாம் it doesn't work out. For somewhere down the line, if you do that, you will end up doing something else also because you are still a victim of raga dvesha only. Therefore, if you have to protect yourself, what do you do? What you should do?
You have to do what you have to do.
Raga action should not be driven by raga and dvesha, likes and dislikes, pleasure or pain. These factors should not drive your actions. Then what it should drive? No obligations. So you say no to raga dvesha first and then say yes to obligations. The no சொல்லணும் எஸ்ஸும் சொல்லலாம். அப்பதான் law of karma is able to follow. You should say no to raga dvesha and yes to obligations. Then the law of karma is clear. If not, you will be a victim of raga dvesha. As you are walking now from the gate into the room, your intention is to come to the class. Your intention is to come to the class only. You don't have intention of harming any insect. As you are walking in, you may have crushed. Will you pay? Is it karma for you? If we say it is karma for you, you have to commit suicide only. You have to commit suicide only. But then you have no right to commit suicide also. What, you are punished by law of karma all the time, as though life becomes a permanent punishment only. That is not law of karma. That is not law of karma. You follow what I am saying? You are driving in the highway, both the sides you have fenced. A dog comes in and you hit the dog, karma or not?
No. If you feel happy, it is karma. If you feel happy about it, then you encourage a sin.
If you say, I have fenced idiotic dogs, Swamiji says, no, wretched dogs have no business to be here. You pay the price. You pay the price. You are driving at whatever speed it is, the dog, not necessarily dog, any animal can come, you hit, what do? You immediately see what you can do to save. That much you should do, that's all. For you have no intention of harming that animal there. In the course of life where we crisscross path, these are bound to happen. Now you can't say, I will face karma for that also. You follow? If you say, I will start facing karma for that, no, you can't ride any vehicle, you have to walk. Even when you are walking, you can crush. Then where do you draw the line? Then what is this law of karma all about? Are you able to follow? The law of karma is about he says, அது அப்படி அந்த சென்டிபீட் அப்படி போகும்போது நசுக்கும் போது நல்லா இருக்குது அந்த பையனுக்கு. He was feeling the, but small boy knows, sir. Why he should be punished for that? The moment the jiva enters the manushya sharira, law of karma starts. இதுல ஏஜ் ஃபேக்டர்லாம் கிடையாது இல்லையா? 21 வயசு ஆனதுக்கு அப்புறம் தான் law of karma will start functioning, or 18 வயசுக்கு அப்புறம் தான் law of karma will start functioning. அதெல்லாம் கிடையாது. The moment the jiva enters the manushya sharira, karma starts. அப்பாடா அது மனுஷ சரீரமே இல்லாம இருக்கலாம்னா? நோ, யூ காண்ட். ஃபார் த பாண்டேஜ் யூ வில் நெசசரிலி என்டர் த சரீரா. யூ ஃபாலோ? How do you know that? The first few months, anybody takes the child goes 4 months, 6 months. Anybody picks the child up, the child has not developed raga dvesha, no agitations. 8th month, 10th month, it has developed the raga dvesha. What is the raga dvesha it has developed? Mother touching is all right. A stranger touching is not all right. That raga dvesha, the child develops. Mother feels very proud about it. The child will not. Mother feels proud about it. But karma has started for the child. Karma has started for the child. That's why in the olden days what they do, the child will be left by the community a lot. The bigger family will always bring up the child, not the parents. Why? Because raga dvesha. At the 8th month, 10th month, raga dvesha comes. The moment raga dvesha comes, what comes with raga dvesha? Karma. Are you able to follow? Innocent child, no sir. Innocent child as far as the law of karma is concerned, manushya sharirathukune irukra. As soon as you enter this manushya sharira, this is the consequence of asking for a manushya sharira. And why did you ask? Why did the jiva ask for it? Because only in the sharira it can get moksha. That is why it asked for the sharira. Only in this manushya sharira, the possibility of moksha is there. That is why it has gotten into it. Having gotten into it, what it does? Having gotten into it, what it does? forgets. Forgets the moksha part and gets involved in the raga dvesha part, thereby bound by the karma. Are you okay? This is how it functions. What did the small child do? Raga dvesha develop aayirthilla. If you have developed raga dvesha even for a 10-month child, yes. Because in the course of life, a stranger will come and in the course of life, a stranger will come and handle the child. Now what the child will do if it had developed the preference? What it will go through? It will go through pain. So as a responsible parent, if you don't want the child to go through, that karma, what you should do? What will you do? As a responsible parent, if you have understood this, what will you do? What will you do? If you are a responsible parent, if you have understood this, what will you do? You will maintain a distance from your child. You will not allow the child to get closer. No, sir, but my child. So for that my child, you face. For that my child, you face karma separately. Are you able to follow? For that saying my child, you face karma separately. And the child developing raga dvesha, it faces karma separately. Rendu perum mutual develop intadanaala what will happen? Both will sit under the same roof and suffer. Law of karma is very, yes. See, from one angle, law of karma make life very simple. If you understand it, life becomes very, very simple. If you don't understand it, another complication. Are you able to follow? So, the law of karma is because of acting on raga dvesha. Sin is not in the action, sin is in the reaction. The reaction is not because of the action, the reaction is because of the intention that drove the action. What is the intention that drives the action? Either raga dvesha or obligations. What determines the reaction? Either your raga dvesha or likes and dislikes, but everybody acts only on raga dvesha only. So the reaction is because of what? Not because of the action, it is because of the raga dvesha. Raga dvesha is for what? Raga dvesha means my pleasure, my pain. So I would do anything that will cause pleasure to me, that would do anything that will cause pain. So what they do in the Shastras, they start teaching it from the beginning. They say, okay, you want to eat meat, you eat meat, no problem. But you want to eat meat, you eat meat, but what you should do? You cut the chicken by yourself. You see the pain that it goes through, and still if you have done all that and you can still eat, now you are a sakshi. You have almost reached the level of Ramana Maharishi state, where you are not reacting to it at all. You see the pain and you still do it. What do? You will face the karma for it. You follow?
The Yajurveda starts with this mantra. The Yajurveda starts with this mantra. The Yajurveda mantra starts with the act of cutting darba grass for yajna purposes. Yajurveda starts like that. Asking for forgiveness from the grass. Why will anybody ask for forgiveness from the darba grass? Yajurveda starts like that. Taittiriya Samhita starts like that. Taittiriya Samhita, the first mantra is asking forgiveness from the darba grass. Yenna, darba grass is just standing there. It has no intention that I am standing here so that you will use me for yajna purposes. Darba grass doesn't have all that intention. It is just standing there. Now I am going and cutting it for yajna pandrundrathu yaroda purpose? The jiva, the manusya's purpose. Since he is doing it for his purpose, awareness has come in. What? I am doing it for my purpose. So he is asking for forgiveness. 10 times he asks for forgiveness. 11th time what will happen to that fellow? 11th time what will happen? 11th time what will happen? Huh? He knows that he can do the prayer even without cutting the grass. Prayer will not stop. Yajna will not stop. Now he knows that even without the garba grass, I can sit and do manasam prayer. Subtlety has entered. Are you able to follow? Yes. Idana at what? When this is all taught? At the starting point itself this is taught. So they come to realize what? Anything you do, you are doing it for your pleasure. Yajna karma you are doing. The darba grass has got nothing to do with yajna karma. The flower is standing there not for you to make a garland to give it to God. It is just standing. That's all. Now you are bringing a purpose to it. When you bring a purpose, what is it that is bringing your purpose? Your raga and dvesha. You are able to follow? Flowers, cut panni, I am making garland and I am still suffering, sir. No, your raga, you like to offer flowers to God. Karma will function, huh? Yes, it will function. Why? Because God never come and said, offer flowers. Patram pushpam palam soyam. Any leaf you take, a drop of water you take. Do you follow? That is why in our we don't have these elaborate things that we do today. Because in that elaborate way that we are doing today, we are causing so much of damage, so much of harm. That is why it would be always a meaningless, some leaf, some flower. Krishna ko Vanamali ne per, yeah. Vanamali means wild flowers. A wild flowers means anything is okay. Where does it all started? Yajurveda, first mantra starts like this. Shukla Yajurveda, first mantra starts with asking forgiveness for cutting darba grass, which is used for yajna purposes. What a concept it is.
Where does it come from? Even when I say I am doing yajna nakakuda, that object, that grass is not for yajna purpose. Grass is just existing. So I am making use of it for my purpose. Therefore, what I should do? I should permission கேட்கணும். அதுங்களுக்கு permission கொடுக்க தெரியாது. So what do you do? அவ்வளவுதான். A time will come where, okay, இதெல்லாம் இல்லாம பண்ண முடிஞ்சா கூட, இதெல்லாம் இல்லாம பண்ண முடிஞ்சா, then why cut it? Puja doesn't stop, yajna doesn't stop, but what stops?
By pleasure seeking.
That cutting stops. There I know, okay, அதை கட் பண்ணாம இருந்தா கூட முடியுமா? முடியும். Dried grass you start using. That is why in the rituals that we do, we always use the dried grass. Leather, the darbha that we use is dried one. Dried one, na? It has become right. That you take use of. Are you able to follow? A person eating meat saying, I don't know that it causes pain. He may not know that it causes pain to the creature, but what he knows? And the enjoyment of experience பண்றாங்க, அதுக்கு karma he has to face. No. I may not know the pain that I caused, but then the pain, the joy is my tongue. So how do I offset the karma? If the tongue demands pleasure, fast and make this tongue start. Are you able to follow? Or start eating that which the tongue can never like. How much ever you convince yourself that Karela is good, every time it touches the tongue says, bitter only. அது வந்து தங்கா வெளில வந்து வராது அது இல்லையா? able to follow? Able to follow? Flavored waterனா தங்கா வெளில வந்துகிட்டே இருக்கும். Ordinary waterனா வெளியே வராது. அது இல்லையா? Flavored water can be anything இல்லையா? It can be coffee, it can be tea, it can be Coca-Cola, it can be liquor, it can be anything. Buttermilk, it can be anything. But anything that has flavor, the tongue wants. Oh, just drink plain water. And the plain water எவ்வளவு குடிக்கணும்? Look at that. Why I am giving all this is how much they have talked about it and brought about these principles. Law of karma. I don't know. இதெல்லாம் 5,000, 6,000 years இந்த திங்கிங்லாம் வரதுக்கு வாய்ப்பே கிடையாது. Millions and millions of years of thinking should have gone behind all this. It can't come in 2,000, 3,000 years எல்லாம். See, in the rituals, in the Brahmin rituals, in the Brahmin ritual, we will have a glass and a spoon. பார்த்திருக்கியா அது? இந்த Brahmin rituals எல்லாம் போய் பார்த்தீங்கன்னா ஒரு கிளாஸ் மாதிரி ஒன்று இருக்கும், அதுக்குள்ள ஒரு ஸ்பூன் ஒன்று இருக்கும். And it has a size. You know that spoon, இந்த ஸ்பூனுக்கு என்ன பேரு? அந்த ஸ்பூனுக்கு என்ன பேரு? Outerni. It has a size. You know what is the size of it? You know what is the size of it? You can't have a tablespoon. Tablespoon வச்சு கூடாது அதுல. உத்தர்னின்னா why? Why that size? அது அந்த சைஸ் எப்படி இருக்கும்னா one drop of water, who decides that drop? So they have kept what is the size of that drop. ஒரு பெப்பர் சைஸ் இருக்கணும். So when you drink water, you take only that much. Beautiful is that understanding based on what? So even when you do a ritual, you don't indulge. You drink enough water to, yeah, அது 3 drop அதில் போட்டா just about அவ்வளவுதான். அது nothing goes inside also. You follow what I am saying? Why? From the beginning it is taught what? Intention means raga and dvesha. My pleasure. Anything you do for your raga dvesha சொல்லதே இல்லை. raga dvesha yours தான். Anything that you do for raga dvesha, you end up experiencing karma. And that karma is mixed karma. That karma is mixture of little bit of punya and little bit of papa. Punya means joy, happiness, welfare for the other. Papa means
Joy, welfare for me.
Papa means
Joy.
harmful to others in getting pain for oneself. Harm to others. What are you facing karma for now? What is the dharma? Is it okay? Ganesh?
Yes, sir.
What is the dharma? சென்டிபீடு கிரஷ் பண்ணும்போது அவனுக்கு தெரியலையேன்னா சும்மா போற சென்டிபீட கல் எடுத்து he is sitting and crushing it. No, why is he doing it? For your pleasure, you smash 100 legs. What will happen to you? Your legs will get smashed. Inadvertently, I do it? No. You don't have an intention of doing that. As in, you are walking in for what? To study Brahmajnanam, to gain the Atma Vidya, you are walking in. As you are walking in, chances are you may have crushed one mother insect carrying food to the little ones. Maybe the little ones are still waiting. Maybe they are still waiting. You have crushed and blissfully sitting here. Karma will come to you. Vedanta says karma will not come. Why? Because you have no intention. Are you able to follow? You have no intention. Most of the time, we don't have to say most of the time, all the time we act on raga dvesha, and we suffer the consequences of acting on raga dvesha. So karma avoid pannunna,
Not to act on.
say no to raga dvesha and ரெண்டு சொல்லணும். நோ டு ராக துவேஷம் சொல்லிட்டு சும்மா கை கட்டிட்டு உட்காந்துருக்கூடாது. say no to raga dvesha and yes to obligations. You are free from karma, meaning you will not be an agitated person. Since you are not an agitated person, you are free from karmas. Why? Because you don't have raga and dvesha, and it is only the obligation. You
You got into this battlefield, Arjuna, for Raga and Dvesha. You are suffering now because you got into this battlefield with Raga and Dvesha. Duryodhana got into this battlefield with Raga and Dvesha. Arjuna also got into the battlefield with Raga Dvesha only. It is Bhagavad Gita teaching that transformed Arjuna from Raga Dvesha to obligations. Therefore he didn't get any sin of the action of killing. Are you able to follow? Bhagavad Gita में direct dharma pati सुन why Bhagavad Gita is a Prakarana's Bhagavad Gita is introductory textbook for Vedanta. அந்த காலத்துல இப்ப இல்ல அந்த காலத்துல Bhagavad Gita is an introductory textbook for Vedanta. Why it is an introductory textbook for Vedanta? Because it says it is so obvious. What is obvious? Duryodhana got into the battlefield with Raga and Dvesha. What is the Raga and Dvesha? Duryodhana Raga Dvesha என்னது battlefield தான். Correct. Raga is for the kingdom, Dvesha is against the owner of the kingdom. Yeah. I have Raga for your wealth and Dvesha at you. Because I can't say I love you and take your wealth away. I can't segregate. If I have Raga for your wealth, I will have Dvesha for you. Yeah. That is why if a person writes a will, after my death, it will come to you now. Every day. Every day prayers for what? So Raga is for the wealth, Dvesha is for the owner of the wealth. Yeah. Okay, this is Duryodhana's Raga Dvesha. What is Arjuna's Raga Dvesha?
Same thing. Same thing.
What is Arjuna's Raga Dvesha? Arjuna's Raga Dvesha is he need not kill Duryodhana for wealth. He can get wealth by his own ability. For Duryodhana, he has to kill Arjuna, then only he can get wealth. For his ability to acquire wealth is less. So Arjuna need not have that Raga Dvesha. But what is Raga Dvesha of Arjuna? He should become the king and Duryodhana must be alive to see him. Avnude Raga Dvesha. Are you able to follow? Suddenly he says, oh my God, இவங்கெல்லாம் செத்ததுக்கு அப்புறமா what will I? What is the purpose of this kingdom? Because his Raga Dvesha is not getting fulfilled there. So what is his Dvesha? There. He should become the king and Duryodhana must get?
Yes.
No or not, Shankar? Huh? Stomach burning. Stomach burning, they say, no? Stomach burning should happen. That is Arjuna's Raga Dvesha. It is Krishna that brought in Dharma. How he brought in Dharma? Arjuna, get rid of Raga Dvesha, say no to Raga Dvesha and yes to obligation and do this action. You will be free of sin. Though killing, you don't incur sin. One of the profound statements by any human being. Though killing, you will not incur sin. Because of what? He has said no to Raga Dvesha and yes to obligations. So much of knowledge is required to do this. That is why Vedanta knowledge is so important, because
This out of this Vedantic knowledge alone, you will be able to say yes to obligations and no to ragadvesha. That is why this knowledge becomes very essential to do that. By yourself you can't do that. It is this knowledge that comes and teaches you the importance of both. Therefore what do? You say yes to obligations and no to ragadvesha. Adi evlo naliki? Evlo naliki? Correct. Till the last breath of your life, you, he will not be agitated at all. That's what he says. He will not be an agitated person at all, irrespective of what he does outside. We are agitated because of what? We are agitated because of what? Correct. Yeah. மோடி பவர் வந்துட்டா, ராகுல் காந்தி பவர் வந்துட்டா, அதுக்கு இதுக்கும் சம்பந்தம் கிடையாது. You suffer because of அவ்வளவுதான். It has got nothing to do with who comes to power, who doesn't come to power. It has got nothing to do with what the economic policy is, what not the economic policy is. It has got nothing to do with inflation or no inflation. You suffer because of அவ்வளவுதான். இதுல அடுத்தவங்களுக்கும் இதுக்கும் சம்பந்தமே கிடையாது. யூ மேக் யுவர் செல்ஃப், யூ மார். அதுதான் அதுக்கு அர்த்தம். யூ மேக் யுவர் செல்ஃப், யூ மார் யுவர் செல்ஃப். யூ வில் சே எஸ் 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 அண்ட் அவுட் சைட் யூ வில் கோ அண்ட் சே vote for X, don't vote for Y. I'm not doing campaigning here. It doesn't really matter to a philosopher, whoever is there. Why? Because he knows how to be. He knows what is the real cause for agitation. What is the real cause for agitation? Karma. What is karma based upon? Raga and Dvesha. Yeah. இந்த ராகத்வேஷத்துக்கு இல்லையா, இந்த ராகத்வேஷத்துக்கு நோ சொல்லிட்டு ஆப்ளிகேஷனுக்கு எஸ் சொன்னாலும் இல்லையா, முள்ளும் மலரும் ரஜினிகாந்த் பாட்டு மாதிரி அது இல்லையா. முள்ளும் மலரும் ரஜினிகாந்த் பாட்டு மாதிரி. என்ன பாட்டு அது? ரொம்ப கரெக்டா ஞாபகம் வருது. இன்ஸ்டன்ட் ஞாபகம் வந்துருச்சு. யார் வந்தாலும் why? Because he knows the reason for that is what? பகவத்கீதா வருஷம் புரிய மாட்டேன்றது. முள்ளும் மலரும் லிரிக்ஸ் தான் புரியுது. It doesn't matter who, because we believe that this fellow is the cause for agitation. For by myself I have good intentions, sir. Vedanta comes and says, intention விடுங்க, ராகத்வேஷா இருக்கா? சேகர் புரியுதா? குட் இன்டென்ஷன்ஸ் எல்லாம் பிரயோஜனம். ராகத்வேஷா இருக்குதா? இருக்குது. என்ன ராகத்வேஷா? அவர் சன்னியாசம் வைக்க போறாராம். தெரியுமா எல்லாருக்கும்? You all should prostrate after the class today, because he is going to take sannyas. ராகத்வேஷா. அவர் சொன்னாரா? சேகர் நீங்க தானே சொன்னீங்க என்கிட்ட, நான் பொய்யா சொல்றேன்? ஆஸ்க் ஹிம். He told me சன்னியாசம் எப்போ? April 14th. வெரி குட். அன்னையோட ராகத்வேஷம் போயிடும் போல இருக்கு அவருக்கு. How does it work? சரியா சேகர்? இதை நான் சொல்ல உங்கள்கிட்ட சொல்ல சொன்னாரு. I asked Swamiji, this man is saying like that, what to do? Tell him that Ragadveshada. Fool he is. I said, I'll go and tell him. Because he said, I want to take sannyas. Incognito I will go. Nobody will know where I am. Wow. Fantastic.
Raga and Dvesha. Because I like it. Is it ought to be done? Who decides that? You, a victim of Raga Dvesha, should not decide that. So you should always ask higher. Should always ask higher. But his ego will not allow him to. Shekhar's ego will not allow him to ask the higher. So he has decided that 60 I will retire, 70 correct sequence. Correct தான சொல்றேன். 60 I will retire, 70 sannyas, 80 realization. How does it work like that? You follow what I am saying? How Raga Dvesha can come and interfere even in a spiritual thing like this also. Raga Dvesha viyuktaistu vishayan indriyaischaran atmavashyayir videyatma prasadam adhigacchati. That is the verse number 64, 65, chapter 2. That is how you get. So you get. You follow? Did he tell you or did he ask you, Swamiji? When I was telling him yesterday, காலம்பரத்துக்கு முன்னாடி உங்களை பத்தி தான் பேசினேன். Did he tell you or did he ask you? He told. He only said. What did you say? Very good. Because when somebody comes and tells you something, what will you say? Correct. You can't say, because he is not asking. Said. The complication நீங்க ஃபைட் பண்ணனும் ராமஸ்ட தான் ஃபைட் பண்ணணும். Because Ramas went and told, Arvindan has also said okay. He said okay. When did I say okay? Anybody says anything, I say correct. I am going to commit suicide, na? Correct. Should I commit suicide, na? Then, see, there is a difference, no, in the two questions. Then he said, no. Tell him. I said, yes, I will tell him. If I say forcefully, then you tell him forcefully. Before I forget, I want to tell him. I don't know whether I will see him. So what to do? Vellam postpone pannakoodadu. Take away Raga and Purida. Segar. என்ன சொல்லியிருக்கிறாங்க? யோசிச்சு அடுத்த வாரம் சொல்லுவோம். ஏன்னா ஏப்ரல் 14th இன்னும் நிறைய டைம் இருக்குது. இப்போ anything is done on Raga Dvesha only. So consequences will be agitation. Consequences will be agitation. You follow? What is agitation? Mental disturbances for no apparent reason. For no apparent reason. What is the no apparent reason? Ton of bricks crushing the legs. No apparent reason, huh? No. There is an apparent reason. You follow? No apparent reason. Suffering. What is it? You put the bird in the cage. What will happen to you? He said that long back. I think from one of the US tours he came back. He said, some birds were there and he told them what will happen. What will happen? For you to go from here to the building, it will take. See, for me to go from here to my house, if I walk, going around,
2 hours, 2.5 hours it will take. The bird will reach in 3 minutes. That is the freedom. That's the freedom the bird enjoys. And that bird is caged. And that bird is caged for no fault of the bird, for the bird didn't come and tell you keep me in the cage. Now you keep the bird in the cage for
My pleasure.
your pleasure. What will happen to you? What will happen to you? You will be chained. You will be chained. In a chain, womb die. Womb die. You will be chained for the rest of your. Will be chained for the rest of your life. We don't. It's not cursing. If you don't understand it rightly, it looks like it is cursing. But then it is that person has asked for it. That person had asked for it. How he asked for it? Acting on raga dvesha. Correct. Just acting on raga dvesha. Are able to follow law of karma is decided by what? Raga dvesha. Not your actions. That is why they say sin is not in the action, sin is in the reaction. The reaction is decided by raga dvesha. இப்படி புரிஞ்சுக்கணும் அது. Otherwise, you'll always have a doubt about what is this law of. You'll always have a doubt about what is this law of karma. சரியா? Yes.
In the same context, the statement that you are punished by the action and not for the action.
Yes.
With an example given on your finger.
Yes.
Can you elaborate on that?
Yes. You are punished for your
Punished
by your action.
not for the action.
You are punished by your action. What is the action? Action has got two parts. Again, one is that which is executed through the body. That which is executed through the body is driven by what?
Intellect.
By raga dvesha. Same thing. By the action means what is it that drives the action? I put my finger in the fire. That action burns it. Why a person is putting the finger in the fire? Why he does it? Or, okay, what drives it? What drives that action of the person putting his fingers in the fire? What drives it? Ignorance. Correct. Ignorance. What is ignorance? Not knowing that it will cause. Now, you are punished for your ignorance. Correct. Who said that? You are punished for your ignorance there. That ignorance driving the action. So, what are you punished for? You are punished for your ignorance. The cruel law of life is you are punished for your ignorance. And how does ignorance manifest? What is the manifestation of ignorance? The manifestation of ignorance is raga and dvesha. Are you able to follow? So, you are punished by your action. What is that action? Action driven by ignorance. How do I know that my actions are driven by ignorance? When will a person know that his actions are driven by ignorance? When he is acting on raga and dvesha.
So it's the same law. But that aspect of, in that example of putting the finger in the fire, what is explained? What is explained there? Ignorance is explained. In this example of crushing the legs of the centipede, what is explained? Ragadvesha is explained. For that boy derived a pleasure. What is ignorance here? The pleasure that you are going to get, what is the consequence? Correct. Ignorance says, knowledge says there is a consequence. Ask what are the consequences. If you are okay with it, go ahead and crush, so that when the ton of bricks falls on your leg, you will not be agitated. Are you able to follow? When I am crushing the centipede, I should ask what are the consequences. My legs will get crushed. Am I okay with it? Yes, I am okay with it. Abdinna, I am not committing a sin at all. For when 10 of bricks falls on my legs and it is crushed, I am still unaffected by it. But then, it doesn't happen like that in life. It doesn't happen like that in life. Since I do not want those kind of consequences, what I should do? Avoid, gain knowledge. Gain knowledge. What is the knowledge? In relation to action. Say no to raga dvesha. If you are saying no to raga dvesha, you say yes to obligations. You say no to raga dvesha, you say yes to obligations. You are free from the karma. You will not be agitated at all doing whatsoever you do, you will not be agitated. If not, unconnected, unexplainable sorrow comes. Able to follow? Why? That is why Vedanta, Jnanam, teaches you two things. But technically, I'll explain these two words. You will explain one other, and the words becomes easy now. The consequences is of two. The consequences is drishta and adrishta. There are consequences that is seen directly. There are consequences that is not seen. That the unseen consequences is more problematic than seen. Are you able to follow? Drishta and adrishta. Adrishta naka lakkanu purinjundu. Another the word we don't. One of the wonderful word to explain the concept is adrishta. So today we have taken adrishta means luck. Another the word use pandradilla. That is why we say consequence. Because the word adrishta we have given a wrong meaning. Now what we mean here is ton of bricks crushing that boy's legs is adrishta. Why it is adrishta? Because
Unseen consequence.
they are not able to correlate
Cause and effect.
the cause and effect. Yeah. Dubai airport la transit wait பண்ணும்போது lottery ticket the fellow buys. Yeah. He buys a ticket waiting for transit. And then phone call comes. You have won 20 crores. Can't correlate the cause and effect. That's why it is called adrishta. Putting the finger in the fire is drishta. You slap somebody with plain hands, drishta. If you hit somebody with plain bare hands, you hit somebody, what happens?
He hits back. You also get pain.
Equal pain you get. Double pain. அவன் அடிக்கும் போது extra வலி வேற. Are you able to follow? If you hit somebody with plain hands, that much pain comes to you. That much pain comes to you immediately. So there are some consequences which is immediate. There are consequences which comes much later. And much later வரும்ன்ற சொல்றது தான் அதிருஷ்டம். But I am not able to correlate. That is because of ignorance. But I don't believe in it. Doesn't matter. I don't agree to this. Doesn't matter. Who asked for your law of karma says who asked for your agreement? You will suffer whether you agree or disagree. You will suffer. Who asked for your acceptance or non-acceptance? Are you able to follow how karma works now? Beautiful two words. Drishta and Drishta means seen, Adrishta means unseen. But you are the doer for both. As a law of karma. Whether it is Drishta or Adrishta, you are the doer. Since you are the doer, you will face the consequences. Since you are the doer, you will face the consequences. What are the consequences? Agitations. Agitations because of acting on raga, dvesha. Abdina, what to do? How to manage law of karma?
Say no to raga dvesha.
Say
No to raga dvesha.
no to raga dvesha.
Act on obligation.
ஏன்னா ஒன்னுக்கு நோ சொன்னா இமீடியட்டா ஒரு எஸ் சொல்லணும். நோன்னு சொல்லக்கூடாது. ஃபார் இஃப் யூ சே நோ டு சம்திங் இன்ஸ்டன்ட்லி யூ ஷுட் சே எஸ் டு சம்திங் எல்ஸ். அதுதான் வைராக்கியா. தட் இஸ் வாட் ரினன்சியேஷன். யூ லீவ் த லோயர் ரம் அண்ட் யூ டேக் த ஹையர் ரம். This is sannyas. This is vairagya. This is renunciation. What? When you say no to raga dvesha, you say yes to obligations. Who decides the obligations? Who decides? You decide, huh?
Shastras.
You decide, na, it is raga dvesha only. Very clear. You decide, na, it is raga dvesha only. Then who decides? Shastra says. But அது எனக்கு பிடிக்கலையே அப்படின்னா அதான் கரெக்ட். He said, but அது எனக்கு இரிட்டேட்டிங்கா இருக்கு, ஃப்ரஸ்ட்ரேட்டிங்கா இருக்கு அப்படின்னா அதுதான் கரெக்ட். கேட்கும் போதே ரொம்ப நல்லா இருக்குதுன்னா அது இன்டெலிஜென்ஸ். வெரி வெரி கிளியர். So clear it is. तस्मात् शास्त्रं प्रमाणं ते कार्याकार्य व्यवस्थितौ. Arjuna, keep shastras, Arjuna. But shastram தெரியலையே. Shastram தெரியலையே. Foolish fellow. You have a guru. Is there shastra bigger than is there any shastra bigger than the guru? For whatever the guru says is the shastra. Whether I like it or not, I should follow it. Now I am saying yes to obligation and no to raga dvesha. You follow? Appa you are free from karma. Yeah. Guru irundu kuda you act according to your likes and dislikes, na? You have the shastras, you have the guru, and you still act according to your likes and dislikes, na? Punarapi jananam, punarapi maranam, punarapi janani jadare shayanam. Are you able to follow? Therefore, when you say no to raga dvesha, immediately, instantaneously, or you should use the word simultaneously. Instead of saying immediately, instantly, simultaneously, you should say yes to obligations. Right now you will not know what your obligations are. What you do? Take guidance from the Shastras. But sir, I know my obligations. No. You don't? You don't? No. So 2 days back, some discussion came. He said, I need to know where I am going right, what I am doing right, and what I am doing wrong. How do I know that? Answer. Group discussion. Swamiji. What is the question? I will repeat it. All that you do is wrong. Now tell me what you want to do. Because whatsoever you do is wrong. Why? Because Ragadvesha. And man came out and said, how he said that? Yeah. அதுக்கு 3/4 மணி நேரம் எக்ஸ்பிளனேஷன் கொடுக்க வேண்டியிருக்குது ரூம்ல உட்காந்து வச்சு. You only said, I do something right, I do something wrong. Answer. All that you do is whatsoever you do is wrong. Now what is your question? No question. No question he said. அப்படி சொல்றாரு. Even when you are doing your obligation, you are not deriving the benefit of obligation. Why? Because colored by Ragadvesha. Even when you do your obligation, it's not obligation at all. Action-wise, it may look like obligation. Action-wise, it may look like obligation, but you are not deriving the benefit of obligation. Why? Because Ragadvesha has entered. Abdina, law of karma. What? Say no to Ragadvesha and yes to obligations. For how long? Sunday ஒரு நாள் அது பிரேக் எடுத்துக்கலாமா? அன்னைக்கு பிரேக் எடுத்ததுக்கு karma will come. If you take break for one day, that karma will come. So you have to do this right till the end. Okay. I do it right till the end. What will happen? Hang on. The Ragadveshatukkum obligationukkum, how did you differentiate? Did you differentiate it by yourself? Answer is yes in the law of karma. Why? Because it was not done under Shastram சொல்லிருக்கணும். Yeah. Why Shastra and Guru is very important? Last example. The Shastras, the Guru can penetrate and see. Since I cannot penetrate and see, I go and ask him. Direct புரிஞ்சா சாஸ்திரம் தேவையில்லை. பசிச்சா சாப்பிடணும்னு சொல்றதுக்கு சாஸ்திரம் தேவையா? For it is drishta. Thirsty, drink water. You don't need Shastra to come and say that. Have bathe twice a day or bathe once a day and சொல்றதுக்கு Shastra vana. Third day you yourself will know. If you don't bathe for 3 days, third day you will know for all this is drishta. There is something in life which can't be seen by you, but they are able to see. So what do you do? If you are really wise, what will you do? Surrender. And when you surrender, when they say, when the Shastra says, when the Guru says, it will be very painful only. It will be very painful only. But doesn't matter. Bite your teeth and swallow. Correct. Bite your teeth and swallow it. For he is able to say something. He is able to see something. went to do pranams before leaving. He said, leaving, yes, when we will see next? Sarla Swamiji, we will see. Remember only one thing. Idella Maya. That is Adrishta. He is saying, remember only one thing. Idella Maya. I have transcended, I am doing all this. Remember, it is Maya. The purpose is to transcend that. Every time the same. Yeah. By default, we know what he is going to say also. As we are going to take proms, the other two boys said, and literally now that is Adrishta. We are not able to see it. So he has to keep repeating it. Now he is repeating it not for him to remember. He is repeating it for so that I don't forget. If I forget that, what will happen? Ragadvesha. Yeah. I will get involved in this only. Yeah. I will also say I am also taking sannyas. He will give one tight slap and say, go back and do your obligation. Yeah. But sir, I should take sannyas. You are an idiot. Go back. You are not fit for. You are an idiot. You are a fool. Now you get angry. Guru says that you get angry. Now go back and do. Why? Because even that does not come. You follow what I am saying? So law of karma purjigana technically use these two words. Drishta and adrishta. Nowadays we don't use the word adrishta because it is misunderstood as luck, fate, destiny and meaning. But what it means is you crush the centipede. When it will come back to crush your legs? Adrishtama it will come. When it will come we don't. And how it will come? That time it will come where you will maximum suffer. அப்பதான் வரும். விளையாடுங்க இருக்கும்போது வராது. ஃபைனல் இயர் MBBS எக்ஸாம் எழுத போகும்போது தான் வரும். ஏன்னா காம்பன்சேஷன் அப்பதானே. காம்பன்சேஷன் இஸ் தெருவிலே. அதுதான் ஃபியர் ஆஃப். ஓகே.
Sugar.